WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Stephanie Poole. Mississippi State leadership is now warning that COVID-19 is the worst it's been so far. But if anything is spreading faster than the virus, it's rumors and misinformation. Courtney Ann Jackson explains how the governor and the state's top doctor are trying to treat those.
Wearing a mask is a topic that's emboldened keyboard warriors and skeptics.
Right now, it seems like there's a good number of people who have resigned themselves to spreading the virus, or they believe that it is not real.
But Governor Tate Reeves has a message for folks.
This is the best weapon we have right now. It's not fun, but it's a hell of a lot better than widespread economic shutdown.
Reeves admits it got confusing early on, with even national mask guidance changing in the early days.
Is wearing a mask in public foolproof? Does it guarantee that no spread's going to occur? No, it does not. But it can go a long way towards helping.
What about the idea of herd immunity? Reeves is admittedly a numbers guy and says the math doesn't match up.
We'd have to see 1,160,000 more cases to get to what they say is half of herd immunity. We've received 36,000 cases in March and April and May and June and July, have led us to a situation in which our hospitals are at capacity. Herd immunity as a solution does not work.
State Health Officer Dr. Thomas Dobbs also trying to quiet the voices claiming numbers are inflated.
If we test someone 3 times, does that count as 3 cases? Absolutely not. Same person is going to be just 1 case. Of our total 36,680 cases, 285 are from antibody tests. So it's a small number.
Reeves says enforcing the mask mandate is difficult, but whether folks are in a county that has one or not, he wants them to wear one for this reason.
Please make no mistake, we are in the middle of a spike today.
Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
The governor did note that there could be some other counties added to that order. That includes the mask mandate because of their high case counts over the weekend. Tupelo City Hall will reopen tomorrow morning. City leaders closed the building over the weekend after an employee tested positive for COVID-19. City Hall has undergone a professional cleaning and sanitation, and all other employees have tested negative for the virus. The infected employee is under quarantine at home. City Hall will resume regular business hours in the morning. Even though most of the emphasis and resources in hospitals has been focused on COVID-19, the need for other services hasn't stopped. Barbie Martinez stops by OCH Regional Medical Center to see how they're dealing with non-COVID patients.
Oh, they take care of me fine.
They're doing an excellent job.
Safety for their patients is the #1 focus at OCH's Wound Healing and Hyperbaric Center, but fear of COVID-19 has also kept them away.
We do have several patients who are afraid of COVID-19.
Krajewski says hospital staff is doing all they can to make sure their patients feel comfortable when visiting.
We are sanitizing the rooms after every patient. We are cleaning the waiting areas. We're practicing social distancing in our waiting areas. And our patients can be assured that they are safe.
The center treats patients dealing with various wounds.
Diabetic ulcers, venous insufficiency wounds, your trauma wounds, surgical incision sites, your burns. We also take care of the things like radiation therapy that people don't understand that can cause wounds. We do that. Hyperbaric is wonderful for that.
And for those who are afraid of visiting the hospital, there is another option available.
Call us, talk to us if you have any concern. We also have ways that we can do visits through telehealth. You don't have to come up here, but we can still treat your wounds. We work with all the home health agencies locally, so we can do video screen conferences with those agencies and get your wounds taken care of, even if you don't feel comfortable coming to see us right now.
The patients we spoke with say the staff keeps the recovery on track.
They've got a great bunch of nurses here, doctors, and I hope they never change anything.
They always keeping up on task on what it is they're supposed to be doing, and they're not missing out on anything, but just doing their job like they're supposed to do as a professional, and I appreciate all their efforts.
Reporting in Starkville, Bobby Martinez, WCBI News.
A little deck of clouds came in at just the right time this evening to give a little pop to the sunset. Our Alpha Insurance Camera Network, our time lapses here. Where are they? Let's force it up. There we go. You can see the clouds moving through the area this afternoon and this evening, gradually thinning on up. Our time lapses went away. We'll show you that coming up in full weather. All right, lows tonight down to around 70. There could be a little bit of patchy fog out there. Let's just talk about our day tomorrow. Lots of sunshine overall. Can't rule out a little bit of patchy fog in the morning, but it's going to feel like 100 degrees more or less. High somewhere in the mid-90s again. The heat index a little bit higher than today, but it will get worse later this week. We'll show you that 7-day forecast and those time lapses in just a few minutes.
Search and rescue teams recovered the body of a missing swimmer near the Monroe-Lowndes County line. Monroe County Coroner Alan Gurley says rescuers found 26-year-old Katie Beard about 10 a.m. Sheriff Kevin Crook says 2 women jumped off a bridge on Highway 373 on Sunday, north of the Columbus Air Force Base. Only one of them came back up. Deputies were called to the scene around 3:30 a.m. The Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks, along with the Monroe County Search and Rescue, found Beard. Columbus police are investigating 2 shootings that they believe are related. Investigators believe the first shooting happened early Sunday morning at an apartment complex at 7th Street North and Park Circle. Police Chief Fred Shelton says it appears there was an exchange of gunfire and a victim later arrived at the hospital with a gunshot wound. The second shooting happened in the 800 block of Ramunda Drive. No one was injured. CPD is looking for a gray SUV in connection with the crime. If you have any information, call Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers. There are more than 18,000 inmates in Mississippi prisons. Crowded cells, understaffed guards, and institutional violence set state facilities on lockdown earlier this year. But prison reform will have to wait. 2 bills supporters say would have been key to easing overcrowding and helping former inmates have been vetoed by Governor Tate Reeves. Our Quentin Smith speaks with advocates and state leaders about the impact of the decision.
Governor Tate Reeves vetoed multiple prison reform bills that would have allowed thousands of prisoners to become eligible for parole, and it would have also allowed them to get 3 separate felonies erased from their record. Prison reform advocates say they're stunned by the governor's decision.
Really was a big letdown for the families of the inmates who would have benefited from it.
Anthony Swift says when it comes to the state's prison reform, it's something he's passionate about. See, it's an issue that affects him personally.
I've been an advocate for about 12 years. I've served time for drug-related offenses.
The West Point man says he knows the importance of inmates being eligible for parole. That's why he hoped Senate Bill 2123 would get passed.
It would have made people who had received those harsh sentences become eligible for parole after serving like 25% of the sentence if they were nonviolent. And that don't mean that they necessarily would have made it, but it would have given them a ray of hope. And the people with violent offenses, they would have been eligible for after they served 50%.
The governor also vetoed House Bill 658, which would have allowed prisoners to have 3 separate felonies erased from their record. District 38 Representative Sheck Taylor says he voted in favor of both measures.
We have to make sure that those who are being incarcerated, that there's a sense of fairness, that these people are able to be paroled, that these brothers, sisters, uncles, cousins are able to see the light of day, especially for nonviolent offenses.
The state currently faces a federal lawsuit due to the poor conditions and overcrowding at its prison facilities. That's why lawmakers worked to pass these 2 bills. But with the governor's veto, Swift says the state is now taking a step backwards on improving prison reform.
Because that would have released up to 2,000 prisoners, which would have saved the state $30 million a year.
We're going to go back as soon as possible to make sure that we send a resounding sound to our constituents that criminal justice reform will happen under our watch.
Governor Tate Reeves did issue a statement saying the bills had good intentions, but they went too far. It would take a 2/3 vote in both the House and the Senate to override the governor's veto. Reporting in Lowndes County, Quentin Smith, WCBI News.
To read Reeves' full comments on his vetoes, just visit our website, WCBI.com. The Mississippi Department of Archives and History wants your ideas for a new state flag. Legislation signed into law allows for the creation of a new state flag. Submissions will be taken until August 13th. The commission that will choose a design must submit its recommendation no later than September 14th. "In God We Trust" must be on the flag, and it cannot include the Confederate battle flag. More information about the guidelines will be on our website at WCBI.com. It's the end of an era for one of NFL's oldest franchises. The Washington Redskins are for a time being without a name. CBS's Nicole Killian has more on how the team has come about.
For the first time in its 87-year history, Washington's marquee football franchise is getting a makeover. Monday morning, the team announced in a statement it will be retiring the Redskins name and logo. Quarterback Dwayne Haskins tweeted, "It'll always be #Hail to the Redskins, but looking forward to the future."
I've had to live with this name all of my life.
D.C. Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton fought for the name change.
What does this mean for the nation?
I think this will be read as part of the George Floyd revolution.
Following recent racial justice protests, the team faced mounting pressure to remove the Native American moniker from sponsors like Nike, Pepsi, and FedEx.
Retiring the name in this case is probably a positive net present value project for them. They will likely end up making money on this change rather than actually losing money.
In a statement, the National Congress of American Indians said, "We commend the Washington NFL team for eliminating a brand that disrespected, demeaned, and stereotyped all Native people and called on other teams to retire caricatures." The Cleveland Indians is reviewing its name, while the Atlanta Braves say they will re-examine a tomahawk chop cheer by fans. Nicole Killian, CBS News.
Washington owner Dan Snyder and Coach Revere are working on a new name. They're reportedly interested in Warriors. Another popular choice is the Red Tails after the Tuskegee Airmen. All right, Keith, how's that weather looking out there?
Hot. Back to you.
It's always hot. It's always humid. I wish we could fast forward to fall just a little bit.
I know, right? And the humidity will actually get more intense, but we will have a trade-off here. Yes, it will be muggy, but there will be a chance for a few spotty showers and storms and some brief cool downs. We'll show you that in your full 7-day forecast next.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Some pretty nice weather out there today for this Monday. Yes, it was warm, but the humidity still in check, I guess you could say. It will be going up. A little bit of cloud cover coming on in Louisville, Mississippi, and Columbus. We can see that right there with our time lapses here, mainly clear in Vernon at Durham's Pharmacy, and Tupelo not too shabby here this evening. Let's go out to Eupora for tomorrow. Early, around 70 at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. Low to mid-90s in the afternoon for you and for the rest of Webster County. So get ready for a very warm and increasingly humid day tomorrow. Here's our first alert forecast. We've got Toby helping us out. Look at that look on Toby, giving us the stink eye here because of this right here, the heat index. The forecast tomorrow around 100. Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even into the weekend, 100 to 110. Temperatures will top out in the mid-90s, but look, a chance for a few spotty storms later on this week. So that will be our saving grace here, folks, at least to give us a chance for some brief cool downs. Now, tomorrow, the heat index ramps up just a little bit locally. Still more intense back down to the southwest, the Delta, Jackson, Louisiana, down towards the Gulf Coast. Very oppressive there today. Same story tomorrow. But things start to get a little bit more intense here as we get into your Wednesday and Thursday. We think the trade-off, as we mentioned, will be an opportunity for a few spotty showers or storms. Now, right now, we are looking at the biggest storms across the high plains, some severe weather out that way. We've been talking about Comet Neowise earlier today at 5 and 6, and this was the view from MSU from early Saturday morning. We want to thank Dr. Donna Pierce for this. So that was visible in Starkville this weekend about 4:45 in the morning, just before sunrise. And if you are looking to the northeast tomorrow just before sunrise, you may see that same thing on the northeastern horizon. Very bright will be Venus. But look for it. You may need some binoculars or maybe a telescope to get a better view. And over the next couple of days, we may be able to see it in the evening, too, if you look to the northwest just after sunset below the Big Dipper. Now, this will be difficult to see right there on the horizon, but hopefully you can see it as we go throughout the next couple of days. But with increasing humidity, the sky won't be as clear overall compared to where it is tonight. So hope for the best early. Get up before 5 o'clock. Try and see it. Tomorrow morning, though, there could be a few showers early back to our west. We're hoping that we can have some clear skies and maybe see the comet before sunrise tomorrow morning. An opportunity for some showers and storms, especially to our south and west tomorrow. Can't rule one out, but I think most of that avoids us, and we'll have an opportunity for one of those to pop on up as we get into our day Wednesday with that heat and humidity that will be building on up here. Let's check out your AccuWeather 7-day forecast and show you where we're headed here. You know it, mid-90s here for the next 7 days. There's those spotty storms back in the forecast, really by Wednesday and beyond, lows in the mid-70s. There's your forecast. More of the show after the break.
Welcome back. As summer heats up, hitting the water seems like a good idea to cool down. In tonight's Health Talk with Baptist, we look at what you need to know before you drop your kids off at the pool.
Hi, I'm Dr. Andrea Morris, pediatrician at Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle. How can you keep your child safe in the water? Newer evidence shows that children ages 1 to 4 may be less likely to drown if they had formal swimming instruction. Formal instruction under age 1 is not recommended. Children ages 1 through 4, parents will need to assess many factors of readiness to include emotional development, physical abilities, and health conditions. Swim instruction should adhere to the guidelines established by the National YMCA. In the open water, advise your child to never swim alone, even if they are strong swimmers. Lifeguard or a skilled adult swimmer needs to supervise at all times. Avoid fast-moving water and canals. Teach your child about rip currents. Swim parallel to the shore until current escaped, then swim to the shore. While on the boat or dock, appropriately sized life vests for children should be worn at all times. Teenagers and adults should be reminded of the dangers of being under the influence of drugs or alcohol when boating. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist, when we will discuss pool safety.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle.
Spring football is a new reality for JUCO this upcoming year. More on those changes to JUCO athletics next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
As coronavirus cases continue to rise throughout the country, the reality of football season continues to hang in the balance. The NJCAA making the tough decision to move fall 2020 sports to the spring of 2021. That includes football, men's and women's soccer, as well as volleyball. Cross country, however, will be the lone sport to remain with its regular fall season. All winter sports, such as basketball, will begin with competition in January, with championships moving from March to April. Spring sports, however, will continue as normal with minor date changes. ICC President Dr. Jay Allen made this statement on the decision. Take a listen.
Itawamba Community College remains concerned about the health and safety of our student athletes, our coaches, and our fans. We had hoped that the National Junior College Athletic Association would have given it at least another week or so before making a decision. The college presidents voted as an association to have our commissioner for athletics express the Region 23 vote in abstention, as we believe that they needed more time and information before making a vote. We will get clarification on allowances for practices and scrimmages for all sports this fall, as well as schedules for all 11 sports this spring.
The high school football tour continues to truck on. We kick off Alabama week with the South Lamar Stallions. Head coach Clay Gillum and his team come off another strong season, hoping to keep that trend alive. South Lamar is stop number 22 on the high school football tour.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour is brought to you by Itawamba Community College, Cannon Ford of Starkville, Monroe County Farm Bureau, Max South Broadband, and the Bank of Vernon.
Year after year and season after season, the South Lamar Stallions continue to find success. In 2018, South Lamar went undefeated in the regular season. In 2019, the Stallions only lost one game in the regular season against Pickens County by just 3 points, 18-15. For the 2020 season, South Lamar still looks for that same kind of success.
This goes to show how hard our kids are working and have bought into our system. They've done a really good job since I've been here, and I couldn't be more proud of them.
We keep the same process. We put in work every day, continue to get better.
The Stallions lose a good chunk of the team's 2019 offense. Stallions wide receiver Malachi Oglin, along with running backs Chase Sides and Horatio Washington, won't be returning. However, South Lamar isn't very concerned about filling those holes.
You know, we've got a really good core group of juniors and seniors coming up that's worked their tails off all spring up until the COVID, and now they've come back in stronger than they were before they left, you know, and I couldn't be more proud of them.
Domination all year. It's my plan.
Coach Gillum says something that's impressed him learned from watching his team this offseason? Leadership.
Younger guys stepping up, taking a big role, leadership role for one another, holding each other accountable.
That's necessary if the Stallions look to continue the trend of finding themselves in the playoffs year after year.
You know, they're all here for one common goal. You know, us and our coaches, you know, that's one thing that we harp on all year, you know, is we want to get to Tuscaloosa. We want to get to Auburn, you know, to where we can have a chance to hold up that trophy.
The Stallions open the season at home against Vernon on August 21st.
Grind. That's it. Just beat them. Outwork them.
Reporting with the Stallions on the high school football tour, Courtney Robb, WCBI Sports.
WCBI Sports 2020 High School Football Tour with Lamar County High School is brought to you by Alicia Clark of Alpha Insurance in Vernon, Shop and Save, and J-San Flooring Professionals.
We'll have more for you when we come back after the break.
If you love 90s, if you love humidity, just stick around. You are in the right place. We will have mid-90s for the rest of the week, it would appear. Our saving grace, as we mentioned, the chance for a few spotty storms or showers here, really starting Wednesday, Stephanie, but in general, just typical summer stuff here.
Summer stuff, and I see all those rain clouds coming in. I think I need to go get a new umbrella.
Well, it's always good to have on standby just in case.
Have it on standby. Tuesday's my day to go get it.
Okay.
All right, thank you guys for joining us. Have a good night.